I wanted to share some real quick, easy red, white, and blue patriotic type decor pieces that you can do. These are all real nice, real easy. A lot of Dollar Tree items were used to make these, and you can use these, you can just switch it up, and you can use these really for any season. So let's get into the DIYs now. Let's make this super easy door hanger. I'm gonna be making mine like patriotic style, but you can make yours anyway. This is a tabletop from Five Below. So you can get like a regular wood round and do this too, but these are only $5 and they are a good size. So you just take the bottom piece off where you would connect the legs and stuff like that. And then it has like this faux wood look on top. I'm going to leave that as is as part of it, but you can paint these all white. You can do so many different things with these. So I'm just going to tape off. I'm using the wood grain because it was kind of straight just to level it out, so I have that top piece section off there. But you can do this in so many different ways. You can do like the whole thing painted if you wanted to, but I'm just going to do the bottom half, and I'm just going to give it a little bit of sanding just so that the paint sticks better and whatever I put on there does stick better. And then just for the extra little pieces that come off when you do sand, I'm just going to wipe those away, let it dry, and then once it dries, I'm going to paint it with these two paints, this white and this red. I'm going to tape it off again. I'm going to tape off because I'm going to make like a little rustic style flag here. So I'm going to tape off a star section. Again, this is not perfectly even or anything like that. If you wanted it to be nice and even, you would cut your tape so you have nice even edges. But I want it to kind of have like that distressed rustic look to it. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it, if that makes sense. So I tape that part off, and then I'm just going to tape some stripes. Again, not measuring this out, just eyeballing it because I wanted to have that rustic type of look to it. So once I'm done with that, and like I said, I just eyeballed it. Once I was done with that, I came in with my red paint. And again, I went over the edges too because you want the paint to go over the edges, because even though it'll be hanging flat against the door, you will kind of see the edges based on what angle you're at. So I just put the tape over the edges too, but this is how it looks. And I'm just going to come in with the red paint, and I'm going to give it about 2 coats. I'm not like heavily saturating it because, like, again, I wanted to have that kind of distressed rustic look, but I did 1 coat, let that dry, and then I came back in and I did a second coat. I took off the tape while it was still wet, but you can wait till it dries and then take off the extra the tape. And again, just showing you, I went over the edges there, and then this is how it looks. If you wanted the lines to be crisp throughout, you could go back in with your tape and you can tape it off and do the other sections. But I just wanted the red lines just to give me a base on where to paint. I would have freestyled the whole thing, but I just wanted to make sure that I had like a base of some kind of straightness in this. So I just came in with a really narrow brush and I painted in the white lines. If you need to do any touch-ups, just use another little brush to do that. And then I'm coming in with some chalk paint and I'm going to do the blue section. I did a bigger brush, for the middle part where it wasn't touching lines. Then again, I came in with a little brush and did that section. I just did 1 coat of this because this blue is a nice dark blue, and it saturated really well, so I didn't need to do several coats of that. And for the white, I just did 1 coat because I didn't want it, again, to be too vibrant or anything like that. I have these window clings from the Dollar Tree. You find them in the patriotic section. They are so cute. They have so many different options. I really like the boots, but I decided not to go with those, but those are so cute. So I picked the little truck and I picked the love sign. You can do little stars in the blue section, but I decided on putting my little love sign instead in the blue section. So once I decided where I wanted everything placed, I just came in with some Mod Podge just to attach this to it. You want to make sure you get out all little air bubbles and stuff like that, and sanding it down does help to make sure everything does stick nice and well. So once you're done putting the placement of everything, you can just go over with another coat. You can pick a stronger glue if you want to attach these, but these held on pretty well. And then once I was done with that, I decided to add a little beads to the back. You can do this with rope. You can staple these on just to make sure it's a little secure. You can use a really strong adhesive glue, but what I always do when I'm hanging something, I just use a ton of hot glue, the Gorilla hot glue sticks. Those work really well for me. These beads came from Dollar Tree in the Patriotic section. They came with like a little tassel and like a little flag on it, not a flag, a map on them. So I took those pieces and I used them elsewhere, but I just used a ton of hot glue and I glued one of the beads down too so that it started, kind of as the base. And then I just took this little bow that I made and then some greenery just to add a little bit of greenery to this too. So once you figure out the placement for that, hot glued everything down. Again, you can staple these things down too if you want just a little extra security. But the hot glue works well for me. And this is how it looks before I came in and sanded it. Just to give it, again, like I said, I want to give it a little bit of distressing, but I just used like a little sandpaper and just gave it a little distressing, kind of give it that rustic look, and this is how it came out. Let's do this super quick and easy door wreath idea. We're going to do it in a patriotic theme. I got this wreath from Michael's, and I got this with my little $5 voucher that you get once you earn enough points. And then I have these wood stars from Dollar Tree and also the napkins from Dollar Tree. You can do this for any season, any holiday, anything like that. But we're going to do this in the patriotic theme. I also had some other pieces from Dollar Tree that I thought about using, but then I ended up not using those. But I did use another piece. First, I cut the rope off, and I'm going to take some Mod Podge. You can apply this with a paintbrush. My brushes were not ready, so I was trying to see if I could put it on with a little brush. Did not work, so I just spread it out with my finger. You want to spread it out even. You don't want any big clumps or anything like that. And then you can just take the napkins. You separate those. So you'll take the white backing off of those. It's a name for those. I forget what it's called, though. And then you'll just place it on. Try to place it on as even as possible. Me, myself, I don't mind a few little wrinkles, but there are ways that you can do it where you can just avoid most of the little wrinkles in this. But it kind of gives it like a little distressed look, too, when you do it and you have a few little creases in it. But I just spread that out, and then you'll put it to the side to dry. For the other napkin, you can see once you open it up, the stars are kind of all over the place, so it kind of doesn't really have that like full flag look. So we're just going to paste this kind of together to get it to keep that little flag type look. So once you decide on your placement for the first piece, then you can just come in with the extra pieces, and this only requires one piece of a napkin, so only one napkin. So you can do so many DIYs with the napkins from Dollar Tree, and there's so many in the pack, so this just requires one. So I'll just take and just paste it around so that you have the stars in the little center, and then you have like the flag stripes on the other part. If you want your pieces to be more vivid, what you would do first is paint the little wood star or whatever wood piece you would be using. You can paint it like a nice white or whatever color you want it to reflect more of underneath, and then do the Mod Podge, and then it would have, kind of that brighter look. But again, I think that kind of adds to the distressing with not doing that. Once it dries, you can burn the edges off, you can cut the edges off, you can sand them real nice and smooth. I just tore mine off because I wanted it to have just a little overlay just to go around the edges of the star, but you don't have to do it that way. You can make it nice and smooth. And then I just went over it again with a little more Mod Podge, just getting the overlapping pieces, and again around the edges where I did do those. And then again, you'll just put that to the side and you can let that dry. You don't want to do it too heavy because it will cause more creases in it. Once that dry, this is a little bow and a little flag from some beads from the Dollar Tree, and the ribbon is from Michael's, but you can get ribbon like this from Dollar Tree too. And then I'm just going to take and I'm going to put that on there. Dollar Tree has a ton of patriotic stuff that you can grab to use. I'm going to glue mine on. You can zip tie yours on, anything like that. I just put that there just to hold it down to let it dry. And then while that dried, I made a little ribbon out of some deco mesh. I got that from Dollar Tree, and then some ribbon. So it's not like a real jazzy bow, but it's just a little bow. So I cut 4 pieces of the deco mesh. You can put that to any length, any size you want. And then I also had some scrap ribbon that I had with the patriotic thing too. And I'm just flapping it over because I didn't feel like cutting it. So I'm just going to flip it around and play with it till I get kind of that bow look that I want. I ended up stacking one piece of the ribbon, two pieces of the deco mesh, one piece of the ribbon, two pieces of the deco mesh, and then I bunched them together individually and then zip tied everything together to make the little bow. And then the way the pieces were, it kind of made like a little tail on it, but you can do bows in so many different ways. You can add like a really big jazzy bow. You can do this in so many different ways, but this was just, real nice and simple. You can also just use scrap fabric to do a bow if you wanted to. So many different ways you can go about this. And then, but I just zip tied that. And then for the center, you can go over that with another piece of fabric, but I ended up taking a metal star, also from the Dollar Tree. They have these little ornaments and stuff in the patriotic section, and it's like a metal star. It has beads and things on it. I was going to cut off the beads, but then I thought it looked cute just leaving them on there, kind of like to hang. But when you do this, just make sure you are sure of the placement, because the glue and gluing this to the fabric, it did dry super fast, so it wasn't really time for adjustment, and my beads weren't hanging in the center like I wanted them to hang, but that is okay. And then it kind of gives to that little rustic look too with the way the bow is. But I did that and then decided on the placement of the bow on the wreath. Again, I just used hot glue to attach mine, and that was really it. So it's just a really quick, easy, and simple patriotic style red, white, and blue, something that you can really just leave up. You can really leave it up all summer, all season, or you can just put it up around the holiday times. And again, this is something that you can do for any holiday, any season. You would just change the colors, you can change the shapes. Stars work great though for a bunch of different seasons. Hope you enjoyed. All right, let's make this super quick and easy patriotic decor. I have this from Michael's, but the other supplies are all going to be from Dollar Tree. It's like an embroidery hoop. You can use a regular type of embroidery hoop, but I thought this was cute because it was like oval, and then it has like that faux wood look on the outside there. The bandanas, they come from Dollar Tree. They come in a pack of 2. I'm going to go with this print right here, but they have them in several different prints. The beads, the stars, all from Dollar Tree, so you can grab those all for $1.25. The stars are cute. They have extra little beads on those too. So first, you're just going to take, and you're going to lay out your bandana for whichever placement you want. You can use regular fabric, scraps. You can use a bunch of things. And you can also do this for different seasons, different holidays. And like I said, it's super quick, super easy. But once you get the placement of the fabric, then you're just going to take and you're going to put on that faux wood ring. If you were using a regular embroidery hoop, you would do it the same way. You would just tighten it up because, usually with the embroidery hoops, you twist a little piece and it tightens it up. I'm just going to get everything into place. And then once you have everything into place, you can fold it over, secure it down. You can put a little bit of glue to secure it down and then cut off the excess. You can do whatever you want, but you want to make sure that just everything stays in place. But that is the placement that I did choose for that. And then, like I said, once you're ready to do it, I wanted to make sure everything was good before I cut off the excess. Then you can go on to the next step. You can decorate this in so many different ways. The beads, they would look cute wrapped around it. They would look cute with the tassel and the little map piece in front. I'm just going to cut those off and then attach the beads in the back. You want to make sure the beads are secure and that the string is secure too. So if you're going to cut these off, you want to make sure that the beads just don't go flying off. You want to make sure you secure that. You can tie it again. You can glue it down so that it can't move. But whatever way you do it, you just want to make sure the beads stay in place and use a good amount of glue so that you can hang this up, because that's the point of the beads there, to be able to hang it up. This is cute as is. You can just hang this just like this. I would have liked to add some wording, but I didn't have any really cute wording to put in there, but some wording right there, like some little wood blocks or something, will look really nice. But I'm just going to go with something quick and simple, which is going to be, I'm going to take the tassel that was on the end of the beads. I'm going to put that down. But like I said, you could put that at the top, the way that it was attached to the beads, and just glue it in the front. This little ribbon I made, I got these ribbons from Michael's. They were on sale, and they come with all 3 of the ribbons on the roll, and then you can just use them as is. They come white, red, and blue on the roll. Super cute, super easy. But I'm going to go with these pieces right here. I'm just going to glue those down, and those are the pieces, again, that came with the beads. I'm just going to place those. The bow does kind of cover the USA sign, but we know it's there, so it's good. It's fine. And that is it. This is super quick, super easy. And like I said, you can do this for so many different seasons, so many different holidays. I like the way the little wood decor piece looks around the end because it gives kind of like that antique look. But if you like, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. And that is it for that quick and easy decor piece. Another quick and easy patriotic style DIY. You can do these using mostly items from Dollar Tree. I have these little foam stars. They come in a pack of 4. I'm just going to use 2 of them, but they're like the little foam stars and then they're on a stick. You can do this with a ribbon too, but I'm going to be using the bandanas from Dollar Tree. You can also use scrap fabric to do these. They'll look great in solid colors, different things. The ribbon on the end does come with each of the little stars. I'm gonna end up removing that, but you can use that just to add an extra little detail. You can do this in so many different ways. I'm gonna cut these into little strips. If you cut against the grain on the bandanas, you'll be able just to snip it and tear it. But if you don't, you'll have to cut it all the way down. And then I have these star ornaments, also from Dollar Tree, and they come with the little beads on the end. They come 2 in a pack for those. I'm gonna cut the strips to the length that I want. You're just gonna want to make sure that you're covering up the foam and all the spaces and how far you want it out based on how it looks once you put the star on. You can also do this in layers. You can cover the whole thing with the scrap fabric. Do it in different colors. You can do it in the same color. Like I said, you can do this in so many different ways. I'm just going to hot glue it around, so just so that everything fills in, and again, just to cover up the foam piece on there. And then once it's done, it looks like this. And then I'm just going to place the star on top. I'm going to leave the beads and everything, so it kind of looks like a little tail on it once it's done. But you can also add a cute little tassel to the end where the rope is right there. If you added some more twine and stuff, you can make it like a cute little tassel. You could do this in, like I said, so many different ways. So I hot glued that on, and then I did the next one. I did the next one in a different bandana. You can use the same one. Like I said, you can use solid colors. You can do this in so many different ways. But I cut those strips and then tore those. And the bandanas from Dollar Tree, they do come in a pack, so you get more than one option in them, and you can do several DIYs out of them. You can put something on the back, or you can do it like I'm doing mine, which is double-sided, so you can flip it over and you can have it 2 different ways if you wanted to do that. I'm going to, like I said, leave the tails on, and I'm going to cut the little sticks off. You can also use these inside of a planter if you wanted to just add a little 4th of July or holiday decor to your planters and stuff. You can just stick those in. That would be cute also. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to attach this to a ring. You can get these rings at Dollar Tree. You can get a reform. You can do so many different things. Mine came in a pack of 3. I didn't get mine from Dollar Tree, but Dollar Tree does sell these. So I'm just going to tie those together. They're glued together so that, you can flip it around. And then just to keep everything secure, you can hit that with a little glue. I'm going to attach a bow on the top that I made with like some deco mesh, some like ribbon, and another little piece from a Dollar Tree patriotic piece that I did find. And I'm just going to glue everything in place, and that is it. This is so quick, so easy. And again, this is something that you can do for every holiday and every season. A super quick and easy red, white, and blue decor DIY that you can do using leftover items. So I have all of these cardboard tubes, some from paper towels, toilet tissue, you can use just anything. And then these napkins from Dollar Tree, you get a bunch in a set, some red paint. So this is real easy, real simple. You're going to just take the napkins and you can separate them so that you just have the print side. If you want it to be more vibrant, I've said it before, just paint a white base underneath and it'll give you a more vibrant look. But this one right here fits the tube perfectly. So I'm going to take that one. I'm going to take just some Mod Podge and I'm just going to apply that on there. It's real easy, real simple. I covered the whole thing and then I'm just going to lay it out and roll it on, trying to make it as smooth as possible. And then once I roll it all the way around, I'm just going to take and cut off the excess. So that one is just easy and simple. And they have these in a few different prints. And you can do this type of thing for any holiday, any season, just a little extra piece of decor. I'm going to take and I'm going to seal it. And once it's dry, you can take and you can come back and you can seal it again. But just to do that overlapping piece, that was there. I did that. Then for the other tall one, I'm going to paint that in red. I did about 2 coats on this. If you want a really saturated look, you can do a few more coats on it. And then for the toilet paper size one, I'm going to take the striped one. When you open up the striped flag one, it does, the print does repeat on it. So I just took and cut off one section with the stars so that it didn't overlap with this star print, if that makes sense. And then just roll that on. And then again, where it overlapped, I just hit that with some Mod Podge after I cut off the excess. And I tucked in the extra, but you can cut that off. And that is really it for that. Then you just leave that to sit and dry. And then once it dries, you can come back and you can add some cute little details. You can also do these with like wooden dowels, like those thick wooden dowels you would get from the home supply store, like the Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that. But this is how it looks when everything is done. And I'm just going to fill the center with some paper just so we can not have it hollow. And you can also weigh these down if you're going to put them someplace where you worry about them knocking over. I have these little star-like garland things from Dollar Tree too in the Patriotic section. And I'm just cutting those down into pieces. And then I'm going to glue those around in the inside at the top. So kind of making it look like a little, kind of like a firecracker. And then just because the top, just in case anybody sees it, I'm just going to fill it in with some ribbon. And then for the other one, because I didn't want to do the red on red, I filled it in with some blue deco mesh. But just another little detail, but you don't have to do that part. And then that's it. You can tie these together with some ribbon, but I just left mine as is. And that's just cute, something simple, and a way to reuse those old items around your house. A quick and easy patriotic flag decor DIY that you can do using items from the Dollar Tree. So I have this wood star. They'll sell these in different shapes and stuff too, so you can do this for any season. But I have these napkins from Dollar Tree and then just some Mod Podge. All right, so I'm just going to take and open up the napkin. Like I said, you can do this for any holiday season, but I'm doing mine for like the 4th of July season. When you open it up, you see it's not just one solid pattern. So it's like all the 4 squares are kind of the same. So I'm just going to cut it. I'm going to separate the pieces and just cut it to be what I need it to be. I made a mistake at this point because I'm worried about laying them out and making sure the stars are in the right place and stuff. But I wasn't paying attention to how the actual star was laying and where the opening was for the hole. So don't do that because you can see mine is to the side and I'm not placing it correctly. So if you're going to rehang this after you're done, you're going to want to make sure you line up everything so that it looks the way you want it to look when you're done. But I'm just using one napkin to do this. I'm just cutting around and just placing the pieces where I want them to be so that I can cover the whole star. You can do this a bunch of different ways, but I just wanted it to take on that shape of an actual flag. I'm kind of lining up the lines so that they all meet back up. I removed the twine piece that is the hanging piece. That's when I should have realized that I had it turned the wrong way, but I didn't. So once I lined everything up and I placed everything where I wanted it to be, some of them are overlapping, some of them are not overlapping. I just lined them up. I just moved them out the way, kind of in the same pattern that I had them. And then I'm just going to place a layer of Mod Podge down. You can do whatever you want. I know there's other ways to do this, like a decoupage, but I'm just using the Mod Podge method because it's just easy and simple. And then I'm just going to start laying the pieces down, kind of smoothing them out to get out most of the wrinkles that are there. But if you have some, it's perfectly fine because this is like a rustic kind of look too, so it works for that. I gave it a little layer of Mod Podge just to help while I was laying down the other pieces. And then once I laid down everything the way that I wanted it to be, I gave it another layer, the whole thing of Mod Podge, and then you're going to let that dry. So I just covered all of the pieces, the top, everything, made sure everything was smooth like I wanted it to be, waited for it to dry, and then I came back and cut off all of the pieces around the edge there. So as close to the star as possible. I just cut around, trim that. And then you can burn those extra pieces off to make sure everything is nice and close. You can sand them off. You can do whatever you want. I gave the star a little sanding too because again, I wanted it to have that rustic kind of look. And then I opened up the hole to hang it. And that's when I realized
I put it in the wrong place. I wanted it to be up top so that it can hang like that, but it's okay. And then I took and I just wanted to add another little layer. So I just took these pieces of greenery. I took them off of a stem and just, popped the pieces off, stapled those down. You can hot glue those too. I was going to cover up where I stapled them down with these ribbon that I got from Michael's, and they're so cute. They come with all those three colors on the same thing. But the ribbon was too shiny for the look that I was going for, because I was going for a rustic kind of look. So I decided against that. But you could just make yourself, if you wanted to, a cute little ribbon. You could make a twine ribbon. If you have some burlap, a burlap ribbon would be really pretty right there. But I'm just covering mine with twine. Just so I'm just wrapping it around. I left a little tail in the back, and then I just wrapped it around real snug, like I said, just to cover up where I put those staples down at. You can use this detail on all of the corners if you want and give it a whole nother look. You can do so many different things, but I just tied mine in the back once I was done with all of the twine that I wanted to use on there, and then just cut off the excess. And it was just that simple. I love how it came out. Let me know what you think, and I'm going to be doing a bunch more of these, so make sure you're following along. Easy wreath that you can do using items from the Dollar Tree. You can use ribbon, you can use deco mesh, you can use a ton of different things. Just based on what you use is based on the method that you're going to use to make this. I'm going to be using deco mesh for mine. This is something that I had got at the holiday time on sale. It is rather wide for what I want to do, so I'm going to cut it into 3 pieces each strip that I do. I'm not really measuring it out, but you want to do better than me and you want to cut your pieces straight. I was in a rush though, but I'm just going to roll it up and then squeeze it in the middle, and then it looks something like this when it's done. Like I said, you can use zip ties, or you can use the other ties to tie this to the wreath form that I got mine from the Dollar Tree. But I'm just going to use the zip ties because it's like super easy. You want to try to match the color of your zip ties as close as possible to your deco mesh, but it's going to be covered up, so you're not really going to see it. But I'm just doing the first outer layer. You space them out. You can do them close together. Based on how you do it is how full it's going to look. But I just space mine out a little bit, and I twist the zip ties like towards the back so that it's easier to cut once it's done, because everything starts to get in your way after a while. I went around the whole first outside of it with the white deco mesh. So it didn't take a lot to do it because you are spacing it out. Once I was done, I just cut the tails of the zip ties off, and then like I said, you can go on with ribbon, different things, but the ribbon you won't do the rolled way. So just to make it easy and simple, I'm doing it all with the deco mesh so that you can see just the rolled, easy, simple way. And when you have a flag, it's kind of striped. It is striped, not kind of straight. So you have white stripes, you have red stripes. So I came in with a row of the red, but you can see I skipped one of the pieces there, and I went into the third ring in, because like I said, you can go in and you can fill it in. You can do different things later. But again, I'm just spacing it out just like I did the other one, and then I'm done with that. And then I want to make a little piece because a flag has the stars and stripes section. So I'm going to take this blue mesh that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to put it there. My pieces weren't super tight because I didn't tie the zip tie super tight. So I was able to slide it over and put all of the blue pieces in one section, just like a regular flag. And then I have these from Valentine's Day, but you can still, find something like this at the Dollar Tree. And I'm just putting those around just random because I like it to have just, a little extra. And then to fill in and to give it more of that stripe look, I'm coming back with the white I did on the outside, and then some of the empty spots that were on the inside. I also came in and put those cute little pink clothes flags in there. You can decorate this with ribbon, so many different things. I just ended up using one of them, but this is how it came out. So easy and so simple. So I hope this gave you some inspiration to go out and make a cute wreath or door hanger. Another fun, easy, quick, patriotic DIY. All right, so I have this reform from Spring Easter, but they do sell the small ones at Dollar Tree, but why not repurpose one that I already have? So I'm just going to cut the ears off of this. It is real easy. Just rock back and forth and it'll come off. Mine is broken, but that's okay because you won't see it. So then I have ribbon from the Dollar Tree and some other ribbon too. I'm going to use this ribbon because I just like the color. I like kind of like the burlap twine kind of thing on the side there because it goes with the other ribbon from the Dollar Tree. So I'm just measured out how long I wanted it folded, and then I'm just cutting pieces along that size. I'm just using the first piece that I cut to measure out the rest of the pieces. And then you'll just take, fold it in half and kind of fold it together and then zip tie it. You can use twisty ties, but you just wanted to tie it to the reform. I'm going in on the second ring of my reform. I'm not going to touch the bottom ring, but you can make this fuller. You can do a whole lot of different things with this, but I'm just going to go around, and because these are going to space out, I'm going to do another layer over it. I'm just going to space these out some. I'm not going to fill it in all the way around. So I'm just going to take and attach them all with the zip ties. And the zip ties don't match, but that's okay because that is going to be covered up later. And then once I go all the way around with it, getting them, how I feel it looks good. It didn't take that many either. It took about 4 or 5 for each section of these. So you don't need that many. It took less than the whole pack of ribbon to do this. So you can do this with a bigger reform though, and it will probably take, more. But once I was done doing that, you can just cut the tails of the zip ties off. And you can leave yours like that, like especially if you like a cute little rough edge. But I just did a little peak on mine, but you can cut it on an angle. You can cut them so many different ways. And then I have this ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I'm not going to fold this one. I'm going to cut it just the length that I want, but just still attach them the same kind of way that I attached the other ones to the reform. And I'm going to go in on the first ring of this reform. If you don't want this many rings, you can too cut those off just like you cut off the bunny ears. And then again, I'm giving it the peaks. I'm going to alternate these. So this one has like the little stars, and then I have one with stripes and stars from the Dollar Tree. These are both from the Dollar Tree. And then I'm just going to alternate them. They're not all the same size. I cut some shorter, some longer, just so that it had just that, rough kind of look, but I did alternate the pattern. Then once I was done with that, I cut those off too, and then I'm just adding this ribbon. I got this ribbon from Michael's, and it came in this pack. So there's red, white, and blue all on the same thing. So I'm just cutting those again on a folded length of how long I want it. And I'm just going to tie those on to the first ring of the ribbon and then just lay them cute. I'm not going to cut the ends of those. Once I'm done, I'm just going to leave it, but I am alternating between red, white, and blue just so that the colors aren't next to each other for those right there. And then that is done. I didn't worry about the inside because I was going to cover it with rope. I was going to do 2 layers of rope, but then when I went to do it, I realized I didn't have enough rope. So I'm just going to go in with the ribbon that is on the bottom because you really don't see it. So it'll kind of bring it back out. So I'm just going to hot glue that on. If you're going to be using this outside or something, I would just tack it down with some thread, you know. Once I got to where it closed off, I just folded it so it didn't have that rough edge. And then I just folded around the back and glued that down too. You want to do that in sections because you'll need to do it in sections. And then I had this reform from the Dollar Tree also. So it's like a little pinwheel. I spray painted that red. And then I have this from Michael's. It broke. I glued it together with some wood glue. But I guess when I clamped it, it gave it a little curve. So that has a little curve, but they usually come flat. I'm going to take it. I'm going to put 2 coats of navy paint on. I've been using the lighter blue, but I like the navy blue for this one because it goes better with the ribbon. So I'm just going to first attach this wreath to the other wreath form. So I'm just doing that again with zip ties. So you just want to lay it where you want it to be. And then you can attach it with some zip ties. I just did a few, but you can do more. And then I flipped it back over. And then I'm going to just attach the wood piece to that. I'm just going to use some hot glue to attach mine. You can use a stronger glue, but the hot glue worked out just fine for what I was doing. And that was really it. You can attach a little hook to the top to give it just another little detail, but you can hang this just fine on a on a reef hook with the pinwheel. And this is how it came
So
out.
cute, and it has that nice patriotic look to it, and it didn't even take that long to do, and most of the items were from Dollar Tree.
Now for this one. Okay, so I had got this from Target. So in the dollar spot bin, it was $5. So cute. But I just wanted to add just a little something extra to it. You can just leave it as is. But Dollar Tree has these rub transfer pieces that you can get, and they have a patriotic thing. Do not do that. Do not lift it once you put it down. Once you put it down, you are ready to go. It sticks right away. I'm taking this foam from the Dollar Tree and just putting a little bit of faux plants in there. I'm taking them off the stem, so you just pop them off, pop them in there. And then I'm going to take these mesh ribbons, and one is solid, from the Dollar Tree as well. I'm just going to make a little bow to go in the front of the basket. I'm going to fold it like that. And then to cover the middle, I'm just going to take another piece of the ribbon, and I'm just going to hot glue everything together and put it on the basket. This little flag I made out of clothespins from the Dollar Tree, and this is how it came out. So quick, so simple, and just a way to add a little something extra to your already cute decor. Now for this one, okay, so this is a leftover I had from Valentine's Day, but I noticed the Dollar Tree didn't really have any gnomes like this for this season. So I'm just gonna cover this guys up and give them like a patriotic look. I got these bandanas that came in a pack of two from Dollar Tree. You can take all of this off, but I'm just gonna cover it up. So I covered up the nose, hot glued it at the back, covered it up with the hats, covered up the other like pieces in the middle there, and then just hot glued it around. This is real easy, real simple. You can play around with this in so many different ways. If you take off the little tassel like pieces there, you can paint this. You can do so many different things. But this is how mine came out. So I hope it gave you some inspiration to reuse some of those old decorations so that you can get more use out of them. A super easy red, white, and blue decor piece. I'm reusing something from Valentine's Day. This is how it originally looked, but you can find these, type of hearts all over the place. I painted two sections red and then two sections white with just some regular paint. And then I had decorated it for Valentine's Day. I took off those pieces, and now I'm going to do it for 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day style decor. I taped off a little section. I had to shake my paint, and I painted that section blue. Let that dry, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to stencil it with these stencils from the Dollar Tree. I cut off the one that I wanted, and did as best as I could with it, and then that's how that looked. And then it was still just a little plain, so I just wanted to add something a little extra. So I took this ribbon that I also got from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to kind of weave it in and out, kind of giving it that like wavy. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a look. So I'm just going to take and glue the piece to the back there. And then, like I said, I'm just going to weave it in and out of the openings that are there, just making sure I have enough for what I want to do. So I just played around with it to see where I wanted it to end at. And then, like I said, I'm just going to go in and out. It's real easy and real simple. You can just leave it like that if you want. But I did decide to add just a few extra things to it. But once I was done doing this part and I figured out which way I wanted to lay it, I glued the back piece just like I glued the other piece, and I glued some of the pieces on the top because I wanted them to look like they were, still coming in and out, even though they were on the top. So I just took a little bit of hot glue and did that so that you don't have to worry about covering it up on the top because you don't really see where it is glued down at. You can add so many different elements to this and make it so pretty. I also got this from the Dollar Tree. It's in like the 4th of July area of decor. I stapled this on. Use a regular staple. This is so thin you do not need a big staple. And then I just did it the same way I did the other one and just left a piece coming up out the back there so that it just looks a little cute. And then because I had removed the string when I did my other DIY, I'm just adding some twine to this so that I could be able to hang it and just so we can deal with those little holes that are there too. So I just took the twine, cut 3 strands of it. So I just wrapped it and wrapped it, cut 3 strands, and then I put a knot in the back, and then I'm just going to braid it so that it has a little thickness to it and it has a good look. And then I put it in the other side. I finished braiding it, and then I tied it off the same way I tied the other one off. And then it was done. And like I said, you can add wording to this. Some lettering on this would be cute. Just so many different ways that you can do this. But this is just real easy and real simple. And I hope it gave you some inspiration to go out and do something. Now to make those easy clothespin flag decor pieces. All right, so I just have some paint, red, white, and blue. That was not red. It looked red a little bit though, but I'm just going to separate the clothespins and then I'm going to paint them. So I'm going to paint them red and white. And again, that was not red. It was like a reddish, but it was too metallic. So I came back in with this spray paint. I spray painted them and then I painted the other pieces white. Then you'll let that dry. Once that dries, then you can put them together, alternating the colors to get that cute little flag look to these. I hot glued mine together. You could use wood glue, but of course you will have to wait a little bit more time for that to dry. Once it dry, okay, so you could paint a little blue square and put little dots for the stars. But I'm just using this crafting tape because it had cute little dots on it already. And it was just real easy and real simple to do. And then I'm just going to glue these dowels to the back. I did cut them down to size, and this is how that came out. Another easy patriotic one. All right, so I wanted to use this side. They do have these at the Dollar Tree that are blank. They didn't have any at mine, so I was just gonna try to repurpose this one. But that fabric and that little heart is hard to get off, so I'm just gonna flip it around and I'm gonna use the back for this right here. So better way would have been to paint the white first and then paint the blue square, but I did it in reverse. I painted the blue square, then I came back in and I painted the white. Let those dry in between with the tape and painted around all the sides. And then I have these stencils from Dollar Tree. I picked this one right here. I cut it off so that it would lay just a little flatter because it wasn't laying flat on the thing. This is how that came out. And then I'm just going to do like a rough wavy line because I like my things to look just a little rough. And then once that dried, I wrapped some twine around, put a cute little bead on it, and that was really it. This is how it came out. So easy and so simple. Okay, now for this one, another fun Dollar Tree patriotic one. So I have this little square. You get them it's from Dollar Tree in a pack. So they come in a pack of several. You can get a thicker base if you want from Dollar Tree. And then I got these little wall decor pieces. So they have a sticky back on them. So you might want to leave the backing on before you paint them because then they're stuck to the paper. But the spray paint sticks best to these, but I didn't have any blue spray paint. So I painted one blue, two red, left one silver, and then I painted the base, and then I have these transfers from Dollar Tree, so they're just a rub transfer. So I picked a few and put it on the homes. I didn't put it on everyone, just some, and then I glued them down to the base, and it's just a really cute, fun piece of decor that you can customize to fit in with your personal style. An easy pinwheel style wreath that you can do using items from the Dollar Tree. You can do this for 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day, any kind of holiday. You can change up the ribbon and do it, any way you want. I took this pinwheel wreath form from Dollar Tree. I painted it white with some spray paint. And then I'm going to take some ribbon. These are leftover pieces. So I have a leftover piece of rope. And so I'm just making everything that same length as that leftover rope. But you can cut yours however long you want it to be. For the fluffiest effect, the ribbon with the wire in it is easier to fluff out. The other ones will be a little flatter. The stiffer the better. Most of the ribbon I did get from the Dollar Tree. So the canvas like ones I got from the Dollar Tree. The red mesh one I got from the Dollar Tree. The rope was a scrap from the Dollar Tree. This I did get from Michael's, and so it's three small ribbons together. So they're red, white, and blue with the cute little stars on them. So I cut four of the Dollar Tree ones, and then I cut two sets of the thin ribbon, and then I had one piece of the white and one piece of the rope. You can do this individually, like take each one, twist it, stack it, bunch it all together. If you're uncomfortable doing that, you can lay them flat like this, just fold them in half. It's real easy and real simple. Just lay them up, fold them in half, and any pattern you want. It doesn't have to be a specific pattern. You can do it randomly. You can do it all of the same ones together. You can just play around with it and just have fun with it. But just fold them in half, layer them. Like I said, you can twist them and do it, or you can lay them flat like that if that's easier for you to get them all together. Once you have them all together, I just took a rubber band and tied around the middle of where I folded at. See, this is great because you can adjust them later if you do not like how they look, because like I said, some of these are going to be just a little flatter of a look because they don't have the wire in them. But I'm going to spread out the bottom pieces here so that I can just play around with it and just fluff it around. So you can just twist them into place where you want them to go and just keep playing with it till you get the look you want. If they are laying too flat for you, you can pull the tails so that it fluffs up more at the top, but you can just keep going until you're done. And then for the tails, for the wider ones, I just took and cut them on angles. So I folded it in half, cut it on an angle so that it had like that little peak look there. You can cut them straight. You can do whatever you want with this right here. But because you will see the tails though. So just cut them nice and even so they don't look too rough and they don't fray at the end. Once I was done playing around with the bow, I just zip tied it to the pinwheel. So you can tie this with a twisty tie. You can tie this different ways. But I always like just using zip ties because it's just quick and easy. So you don't want to pull the bows and stuff so that they are all mushed up in the zip tie. You want to make sure you get it underneath it so that it doesn't mess up your bow. Because I turned it over, I got to fluff them back out again because I kind of flattened it. But that's just really it. It's real easy, real simple. You can go ahead and you can add other things. My intention was to add a cute little welcome sign, but it broke on the way home, even though I didn't put it in a bag to keep it from breaking. So I need to glue that with wood glue to make sure it just stays together nice. And I didn't have the time for that to dry. So I left that part out, but you can leave it like this. You can add a cute little sign to it. You can add more decor to it. Like I said, you can do this for any holiday, any season. It's just something real easy and real simple to do. And I did mine using mostly items from the Dollar. Okay, another fun patriotic style home decor DIY that you can do. I'm going to be using scrap wood that I have. And this is a good reason to always save your scrap pieces of wood. I'm going to take and I'm going to even these out so that they have that nice little staggered look. And then this is how they came out. So I picked those three pieces. You want to make sure they can stand up nice because this is a standing piece of decor. You can sand off your ends just to make sure everything is nice and smooth and even. So this is a real easy, simple project. And then I also did one in Jenga blocks too. So if you don't have scrap wood, you can do these in the Jenga box at Dollar Tree. So I have these napkins. They have bandanas, all kind of different prints at Dollar Tree. And so I'm just going to take and do some Mod Podge on the largest one. So instead of painting it white, because you know, red, white, and blue, I'm going to cover it with the napkin from the Dollar Tree because I just think it's a cute little print. So I'm covering it in a good layer of the Mod Podge, and you can see the napkin worked out to be the exact length of this scrap piece of wood, which was really perfect. So I'm just covering it around on all sides, getting a nice good coat on there. And then once I was done with that, I'm just going to lay the napkin out and just wrap it around. So this is real easy, real simple. You can cover yours in Mod Podge in parts if you're more comfortable doing it that way. But I don't need it to be too perfect, so I just covered everything at one time. And then I'm just like, you know, smoothing it out just a little bit around all of the pieces. And then I noticed there was a little overlay, so I was like, okay, great, because now I can cover the bottom, doesn't really matter, but the top, so that it doesn't just have that wood look there, because I was going to end up painting that white to cover it up. So now I don't have to because the napkin folded over. I cut off the excess. You can do this beforehand. You can like measure it out and cut it off. But I cut off the excess, and then I'm just going to smooth that out and give that a coat of the Mod Podge too, just to make sure everything is nice and covered. Everything is sticking down nice and good on the top, the bottom, around all the sides. And then I'm just going to put that on something elevated to dry, because you don't want to dry it on the paper because then the glue dry to the paper, and that won't be good at all. While that is drying, I'm just going to take and paint the other pieces. So I'm going to paint the middle size one red, and I'm just using this paint right here. I'm going to cover again all sides of this. I'm not worried about the bottom because the bottom is going to be the bottom. It's going to be standing up. But I'm just going to do one coat. So I'm going to do one coat around all the sides, and then on the top because it's going to be like table decor, so you will be able to see the top. And then I did the blue. I covered it again, just like I did the other one. Just one coat, and I did around all the sides and the top, and then left that to dry. And then once it's dry, you can go on to the next step. You can decorate this in so many different ways. Was debating on how I was going to do it. I know I like my looks to be distressed, so I gave it a little sanding around the corners there just to give it that distressed look. I have these 3 stars, so you can get the pack. I did the same thing on the Jingle Blocks. You can get the pack of the wood stars at the Dollar Tree, painted one white, one blue, one red. And I was debating on how I was going to put these on. When they laid on the Jingle Blocks, they were like the perfect size to lay on the front. And I had a white one. So it was just a different look, but I wasn't liking how it was looking there. I was debating on if I would put them on top. It was just, but you can decorate these anyway. But I decided to just go ahead and do the rope part for the firecracker because these are like firecracker decor. So I just take the nautical rope from the Dollar Tree and I untwisted it. It comes in 3 strands. And then I untwisted those strands. And then I decided to attach the stars to the top right in front of the rope. So I did that for all 3. I glued it down, made sure it was in a position that it was nice and standing straight up. And then I glued the star to the rope and to the base of the wood block so that everything was secure and nice in place. If you wanted to, you could drill a little tiny hole and dig those little feet in there, but this is going to be inside, so it's fine just like that. And then once that dried, I'm going to tie these together. I was going to go with the nautical rope, but it was too thick because these pieces are kind of narrow and I didn't want the rope to overpower it. So I just went with some twine from the Dollar Tree, and this is how it came out. Another easy patriotic style decor piece that you can do using Dollar Tree items. So they have these in the garden section. I painted mine all white with some spray paint. And then you can go ahead, you can leave it like that and then fill it. But I wanted to make it a kind of patriotic. So I took this ribbon from the Dollar Tree. You can do this with so many different things. But like I said, I took the ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I like the print on this one right here. And I just glued it. So I glued it together in the back. And then because around the bottom was a bit narrower than the top, just so you wouldn't have that gap, I glued that down like in little sections so that it kind of looked smoother. And then I decided to go with some twine and some nautical rope from the Dollar Tree also. So you don't have to do this. You can do something else. You can do more ribbon, some distress ribbon. You can distress the tin. So many different ways you can do this. But I wrapped the twine around the top just a few times, like 4 or 5 times. And then I just tied it in a knot to close it. You can put a little hot glue in this if you think it's not going to stay in place. But as long as you do it nice and snug, this stays in place just fine. And I pushed mine up as I wrapped it around to make sure that it would fit good. And then I took the nautical rope and I did that around the bottom the same way I did the ribbon, but I just hot glued this more so that it would stay in place. So I did all the way around the back and then all like in different sections around the front till I got to the back, and then that is how it came out. And it's just like so simple and easy. I have these little wood stars from the Dollar Tree. I was debating what I was going to do to hang right there where the twine was. At first, I was going to distress some ribbon and some burlap and have it like that. I didn't want it to be too busy. They have pieces at the Dollar Tree you can use. So I just added a few more strings of twine because I didn't want a full on tassel. So I took that, did that, and then I added just one of the stars. I was going to add a red, white, and blue one, but I think just a nice simple wood one. It's just nice and cute and simple. So I just tied that in a knot with one of the pieces of twine that was hanging there. And then I'm using mine as like a faux planter because I don't have any real plants, but I think it came out super cute. So you might want to give this one a try because I think this one might be my favorite because it's just simple, but it has like a good statement to it. Another fun, easy Dollar Tree DIY that you can do for Labor Day, 4th of July, Memorial Day. All right, so I have this block, this set of Jenga blocks, and I'm just gonna take them, I'm gonna double stack them. So I'm gonna take and put one on top of each other. I'm gonna do a row of 10, a row of 8, and then a row of 6, and then just another row on top of that. So I'm just setting them all up so that I have enough for what I'm doing. If you want it thicker, you can go thicker with these. You can use wood glue with these, but you'll have to wait a while for it to dry. So because I'm using hot glue, this is something that you want to use indoors. You don't want to use it outdoors. But I'm just going to glue them together, make sure it's lined up nice and even because you don't want it to look, too wonky. Once that dried, then I'm just going to stack the other row right on top of it and glue that on there. So you can glue it together and then you can glue on top of each other one, just like I did the other set, to make sure everything is together nice and even. And like I said, you can use another type of glue, especially if you want to use this outside, but this is small. So this is more like table decor than like porch decor. So once I have all of my sets together, I'm just going to paint them. So I'm going to paint the smallest one blue, the middle size one red, and the largest one white. I'm going to get all the sides, the front, the back, the sides, the top. I'm just going to cover everything. I'm just doing one coat with mine. You can do more coats if you want a more solid look, but I like to have like a little distressed look. And I think like the patriotic pieces, I think they look really nice when they have that distressing to them. So once I was done with the white one, and like I said, the front, the back, the sides, the crack, only part I didn't paint was the bottom. I went on to the other one and I did that one red, the same one coat, and the same one coat on the blue. And then I have these pack of stars from Dollar Tree. So they have these little nice little wood pieces they cut out with like the lasers. So I'm just going to take one of each of the designs and I'm going to paint them one blue, one red, and one white to go along with the blocks that I have. Once that dried, then I'm just going to hot glue them on top in the front of the Jenga block. So just different colors mixing. You can put the same color, but it'll kind of blend in if you do it that way. So I'm just mixing up the colors. So I put the white one on the blue one on the red one, and the red one on the white one. But you can jazz this up all kind of different ways. You can do stencils. You can do all kind of different things. I'm going to wrap the white one with a little bow of twine. You can wrap them all with this. You can do just a bunch of different things. And then I'm just figuring out how I want to lay them. Um, and then I was going to wrap around just like in a bundle, like you see the little firecracker things. But I didn't like the way it was laying with that. So I didn't do that. But I am going to add, because they're like firecrackers, this rope. So the nautical rope from Dollar Tree, it comes and then it's like 3 strands. So I'm just taking those strands, I separated them and then separated them again so that they kind of have like that firecracker look, and just hot glued it to there. Made sure I placed it around so that it'll stand up nice and straight. And so I did one for each of them. You can do these in the same size. You can do these in different sizes. Just let that dry. And it's just real fun, real easy, real simple. And then I decided to wrap the twine around each one individually at the bottom. So make sure you follow along for more DIYs. That's So Trendy DIY.